So you said that a lot of preparation goes into your homilies, and you're known for having quick, straight to the point homilies. Is that intentional, or does it just come out that way? What is your thought process when it comes to, talking or thinking or planning out your homilies?
Yeah. So for me, I didn't think too much about preaching till pastoral year. Like I said, confessions and mass, like Eucharist was really my focus.
Okay.
But on pastoral year, we had a few events when I was helping out stuff and speaking. I thought, I should really get, kind of figure out this preaching thing. And so I started a big Google Doc. I just call it my homily tank. I'm always putting quotes in there, or spiritual thoughts, or old reflections I preached. Just trying to build a good database of helpful information that's been helpful for me in the past that hopefully will be helpful to others. So I try to always kind of have that in the forefront of my mind. I try to look at the readings as much as I can ahead of time. So as I'm kind of just living, I'm kind of thinking about what would maybe apply to different things. And then I spend a lot of time praying, a lot of times in the chapel, I'll have my laptop out and I'll just be typing out ideas and thoughts about homilies. And what I try to do is it's not like I'm like, okay, I got myself 30 minutes, I'll write my homily and now it's done. For me, it's like, maybe it's 5 minutes and maybe it's done. It's like, oh, that was it. Like, that's what I wanted to say. That's good. Or maybe it's going to be 4 different holy hours throughout the week that I'm really trying to pound out something good, So I don't put a time limit on what the Holy Spirit's trying to do. And I keep going, I keep digging until I get something good. It's a lot like fishing homilies, like you're not sure how much, sometimes you go out there to fish, you throw in the line, you get something big and you're good for the day. Sometimes you have to keep going out to get something special, So in terms of preaching briefly, growing up, I just never heard anyone say like, man, I wish that homily had been longer. You didn't hear that much. So I just figured, hey, maybe it's helpful to keep it short. But I'm not ever trying to make a point about short homilies. I just, when my thoughts concluded, then that's the end of the homily. I don't want to add fluff to it. So, and in most cases, when my thoughts finishing up, it's about 4 or 5 minutes. So that's kind of how it works out.
So when you're talking about making homilies, it kind of reminded me how people speak about writing songs. Sometimes a song just comes to you. Sometimes it takes a while. Now, we know you as a musician. Could we talk more about how you write music? So is this something that you've always done as a child because you had all that free time as a homeschooler? Or is it something that you learned later on?
Yeah, so I started taking piano lessons when I was pretty young. I didn't take them very long, but I got to where I was comfortable on piano.
Okay.
Started taking guitar lessons when I was about 10. And then about a year after I started guitar lessons, I started writing songs. It was just kind of natural for me. My dad always asked about me playing other songs. He liked Johnny Cash a lot. So he played some Johnny Cash songs. And just for me, even at 10 or 11, I thought let Johnny Cash play his songs. We have recordings. He plays them better than I would, I'm going to play my own songs. And so that was just kind of natural for me to kind of start to write music. My first song was about our dog, Daisy. Not a very good song, but... Do
you still remember it?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to sing it now, though.
I will make it.
I didn't bring my guitar. Oh, bummer. But they got hopefully a little bit better after that. And it was something I kind of just naturally, like you were saying, you can't really choose when it comes. I just get inspired sometimes and start to write music. When it comes, I just kind of let it go. So
when did you feel yourself writing a whole lot of music? Was it during the time that you were in the seminary, or was it mainly it always happened that you wrote a lot of music?
It comes in spurts. I don't actually spend much time playing music. It's just kind of when I feel kind of inspired, I'll go to it. I written quite a few songs in high school. And so my dad has been real involved with the pro-life movement and is on board the directors for the Houston Pregnancy Help Centers. They were looking at trying to do a different event than just a dinner. So he thought hey, how about you do a concert, a benefit concert with some of your music? So we planned out this concert and, we advertised, had about 300 people come and raised, I think $60,000 or $70,000 for the Pregnancy Help Centers. And after that, I kind of thought okay, I'm done with music. Now I'm going into seminary. And what I've always found is God, when you really give your life to him, it's not like he takes away who you are. It's no, he called you. He actually makes you more of who you are when you're serving him. So I thought I was kind of done with music, but that 2 summers later, we did another concert I think we had like 450 people at that one, raised a bunch more money, and that was a lot of fun. And so I kind of just kept writing music for that concert, basically. So each year since then, we've continued to do it. And it's been, each year it's gotten, I think, more fun. It's gotten bigger. And
so who organizes the concert?
So Houston Pregnancy Help Centers is the one who kind of helps us to, I mean, that's the one we're raising money for.
Yes.
So they help with some of the logistics, but it's mostly just kind of like me just kind of planning it, you know.
So it's you doing a lot of the work.
Well, like obviously with the music and everything, right? I'm writing the music.
Yes,
I'm organizing the band. We're doing the practices. I'm in constant communication with the venue about like what the sound is going to be like and the stage setup. And we do get a lot of help with the Pregnancy Help Centers in terms of like the logistics for the crowd and things like that. And my dad does a lot of the fundraising. But yeah, it's a pretty small team overall for a pretty big event, hopefully in the end.
So how do you get the musicians together for your Concert for Life?
It used to just be kind of me, and then I brought somebody else on. We've kind of gradually added, and now it's all priests and seminarians, which is pretty cool. So each year, you know, it's a huge challenge every year to say, okay, like when are you guys going to be available? When can we do this? And I recognize each year it has been a different group, and going forward, it will probably always be a different group of people because it's just kind of have to work with who's available, you know, at the time. But it is pretty cool. I mean, these guys are great musicians.
Are they mainly from our area?
Not really. So it's guys who have either come here to seminary or guys who are from here. But like last summer, we had 2 guys from the San Angelo diocese who came down. Great bassist, great violinist who played with us. Everybody else, I think, was from here.
Do you have like a list of priest musicians?
Pretty much now. I mean, it's not super long, but we have what we need, you know, so far. So we'll see what it looks like going forward.
How do you get in the band for those, you know, let's say we've got seminarians who in a couple of years, they're like, oh, I want to be in Father David Michael's Concert for Life.
Hey, we always looking for people, so more than welcome. Reach out, please.
Is there an audition process or?
Not really. I mean, usually word of mouth, you can kind of tell if somebody maybe has the chops for it, you know, or if guys I've played with before or seen played.
So what are the requirements for the priests to be in?
Just if there's a need for the spot,
okay.
And if they're kind of good enough, I guess on the instrument proficient to play it. We don't have like a complicated audition process or anything. We're thankful that guys.
How much do you practice before the actual concert?
So it's interesting because of our schedules. Usually it's like concert's Thursday and we start practicing Monday.
Yeah, I would think that it would be
Monday, Tuesday,
yeah.
Wednesday, and then put on a show.
Wow.
You know, it's wild.
Wow. So now this concert, how much is a archdiocese involved? Not at all, or, you know, or this is something that you just do on your own?
Yeah, exactly. So we wouldn't put any liability on the archdiocese like that. We're not officially, you know, affiliated with them. Yeah, it's really just some priests and Pregnancy Help Center getting together to do something good for a good cause.
Have they ever said anything to you about the archdiocese? Have they just make sure you don't do this, or, you know, have they ever said anything?
No, not really. I mean, obviously, you know, they ordained me to try and hopefully not do anything stupid. So, and that goes for every mass, right? I get up in front of there. Now we're live streaming, and I need to make sure I'm being careful as a public figure always. You know, especially these days, everything in the dark will be revealed in the light. You got to be a person of integrity. So hopefully with the concert too. Obviously, if the cardinal ever told us anything, we would do whatever he said, you know. So you know, I always would check with the vocations directors as seminarian, like, hey, is this okay to be doing? They would say, okay. So I always wanted to make sure I was not doing anything underhanded or something.
So now you've got, you make a lot of music, you release videos sometimes on social media, music videos or any of these types of things. Do you ever have anybody from the archdiocese or the priests come and tell you something about it?
No, so not up to this point. Obviously we have social media accounts and we can use them, and especially with these days, a lot of priests now are posting things. We got a lot of live stream masses and stuff like that. So I think it's really positive. But again, if they ever told me anything, I would, you know, do whatever the cardinal says.
Mm-hmm. So do you have now? Actually, you've told me something like this before, that some people they're not too keen on your social media presence or things that you do on social media. Could you tell me some Something about that?
I had somebody commented on one of the videos, and it was a bunch of really positive comments, right? And this one person just commented, "Lame," lame. It was just one word, and so I just commented about, "Hey, no worries if you didn't enjoy the video. You know, God bless. And it's not for everybody." And so that happens sometimes, right? Not everybody's gonna enjoy it, and that's okay.
Do you ever get anybody saying, "Oh, this is not becoming of a priest"?
Yeah, I got a couple of those. I think it's, this is unbecoming or not fitting for a priest or something. And what I would say is like that's a totally, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but that's a completely subjective. Like what's becoming of a priest has been pretty clearly laid out by the church in terms of like first my promises to obedience and celibacy and all these things, like these things that the church asks of me. And if I'm, having fun in a video, I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm always trying to be very prudent and be careful. Whatever you put online is kind of out there for the world to see. So you want to be smart. And I always send my videos to lots of people before I post them, just
get everybody's thoughts on it.
Just to make sure nothing in there that I misread or something there I was missing, And,
to each his own. Some people prefer Latin Mass. Some people, prefer other, So it's that type of thing. You can't make everybody happy, I guess.
I have no problem if someone doesn't like my videos. And if they need help from me as a priest at any point, I will be there to help them.